Hey, it's Soul, and welcome back to another episode of Warcraft Weekly, where time flies and the copium flows free. Hit the like button, subscribe to support me and the channel, and let's take it all in, because this is it. In just a few days, patch 10.1 will be upon us, and we're going to cover some highlights of what we've learned in the past few weeks, so you stay up to speed. First, let's summarize the timeline of the next few weeks. On the week of May 2nd, 10.1 goes live with the preseason, so there's no new PvP or Mythic Plus season, there's no raid, at least not yet. But the zone will be up and open for exploration, along with a good chunk, maybe even the entire zone campaign, up to the point where you have to go into the raid to finish it starting the following week, because again, no raid. You'll also have an opportunity to start obtaining the Season 2 Spark of Shadowflame for high-end crafts. The way it works is that you get one half of the spark each week, meaning that you've got to complete this quest, whatever it is, every week. Now I'm looking into whether we have to be on every week, or can we always just catch up if we miss a quest, much like in Season 1. We also have Twitch drops available to celebrate the start of the patch. Starting Tuesday, May 2nd at 10 AM Pacific, you can watch me, the kindest, cutest streamer, or you can watch any other WoW streamer, and then rack up 4 hours of watch time. That's gonna score you the Ethereal Portal toy. Now this only goes on for a week, so be sure to tune in and at least say hi before you put me on mute and go about your day. I think we have a shared understanding, right? We both want things from each other. I'm gonna go over more details on the Monday reminder video, which may include a new Bob jingle, so tune in or stay away. On the week of May 9th, the game becomes playable. Season 2 launches with the raid and PvP and Mythic Plus things, complete with new affixes and a new round of dungeons. The raid's gonna open up on every difficulty, including Raid Finder, but with a catch. Only the first 3 bosses are going to be available, with more coming on the usual schedule. Another Season 2 half spark is going to be available for you, so you can make your first piece of Season 2 gear. Farrak Assaults and the World Boss will also be available to score some extra gear and upgrade items. Around the center of the new zone, Zeralek Caverns, the Dragon Scale Expedition is going to need help in an event to basically kill a bunch of elite mobs. And this event happens every hour. The race to World 2nd begins for Team Liquid, and there's another Twitch drop, this time for the Blazing Hippogriff mount. Same deal, another 4 hours of watch time for the mount, so just tune in to my streams and you'll get my appreciation. I would just be really happy if you joined me. The next big milestone is May 23rd, when the second wing of Raid Finder releases. June 6th is when Wing 3 opens up, and odds are good that Blizzard servers are going to get hammered starting on June 2nd by the Diablo 4 release and likely a DDoS attack, thanks in advance. On the week of the 13th, the Revival Catalyst will reactivate, meaning it's going to be 5 full weeks after Season 2 begins, down from 6 last season. We can also expect to convert Season 1 gear into Season 1 tier pieces with no restrictions at all, which should be neat for folks still needing a path to complete Transmog Collection soon, or I don't know, like years later. Finally, 1 week after the last wing of Raid Finder opens up, the game truly becomes playable again. Let's go over a few more things that we've recently learned. Now, some items might be new, some are at least worth repeating. Crafting recipes from the 10.0 raid will move over to the 10.1 raid, but not only that, recipes will drop from all raid difficulties. So recipe hunters, there's a great reason to run Raid Finder. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. I can't believe that Blizz is literally forcing us to run LFR for recipes to up our time played. How was that? Is that cool? Great. Usually at the start of a new season, Mythic Keystones drop by 3 or so levels to help kind of ease players into the new affix combos or the seasonal thing, the increased item level, and so on. This time around, in light of dungeons rotating into something entirely new, key levels are going to be dropped by about 10 levels instead. It's pretty big. I'm sure that's pretty annoying, but I have a feeling that the WoW team's looking at the data and they anticipate that, well, I guess they would rather hit players with a speed bump and they have to climb back up a bit than to have players run in with overconfidence and then crash into a wall. Or I guess in other words, they'd rather have people start with an easy win before the game really starts ramping up. With so many Mythic Plus changes, I'm not surprised that they're being cautious. I have a feeling that they're going to be studying the data from this coming season so that in Season 3, maybe the demotion of keys won't be as bad, so for now, let's just see how it goes. There are quite a few class changes, and I'll provide a link to the full patch notes so you can take a look. Shadow Priest in particular happens to get a lot of attention in this patch, but I'm not going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about or if these changes are good or not. Fans ought to see for themselves. It's going to be much cleaner to share talent builds without the use of add-ons. By opening up the talent menu, you can share and then post a link to your build in chat. Players who see it can see the build with just a click and then copy the code if they want to use it for themselves. The time frame that lets you trade loot with others in your group has been changed from 2 to 4 hours, but with a catch. You can no longer log out and basically freeze the timer. Those 4 hours, they count in real time now. That means no more cheesing loot trades by logging out of your character, which really is a practice that's used by more competitive players, but the takeaway is if you're thinking about trading, do it sooner than later. Heritage armor quests for non-allied races no longer require you to be exalted with that faction. You just need to meet the level requirements, probably without using a boost. Testers have reported that the incorporeal and afflicted affixes, the new stuff that's coming in 10.1, have been made much more manageable in current testing. In so few words, the ads that come out for these affixes come out much less frequently, giving plenty of time for things like health to be managed, for cleanses to come off cooldown, or for, of course, mobs to die, even when pulling big packs. This moves towards what players have been hoping for, a reasonable balance of challenge and variety, playing the dungeons more than the affixes. I think this season is going to feel really different at every level of skill, with a much bigger difficulty range at the lower band, the rebalancing of the existing affixes, the removal of the seasonal affix. I mean, I almost want to try going for Keystone Hero. The WoW team dropped a preview of what's coming in the trading post on the 1st of May. You can see here that the bonus reward for getting the 1000 Tender is a mount, a savage green turtle. I'm kind of hoping those things on the side are rockets so we can see a really ridiculous flying animation. So right now, as of this recording in particular, it's April 28th. It's exactly 5 months since the launch of Dragonflight. It feels like a lot's happened in these 5 months, even though it really hasn't. Like, we've only been through one season of this expansion so far, one raid, and the same launch zones. So for someone like me, specifically me, who does commentary, I talk about WoW a lot, I run a guild, I dabble in a little bit of everything, Dragonflight has been very good to me so far. The outdoor stuff has been great, the grinds have been decent and manageable, but more importantly, they're optional and non-critical to my particular endgame. At the risk of speaking on behalf of others, I think Professions were probably Dragonflight's biggest letdown so far, due in part to it being such a big revamp, and the dev team, I think they didn't do enough to prepare players for it. But personally, it's been awesome, especially in my realm's economy, and I'm excited to dive back into it in the patch. I feel like the best part of Dragonflight has been the support behind it. The team who has not been perfect, but who has clearly, very clearly taken steps to improve on their communication, their responsiveness, their willingness to make changes, and in the past 5 months, there have definitely been changes. They've been bold enough to present a roadmap, and so far, they've been on target. In fact, they're moving faster than some like myself had predicted. There is that question of how long can they keep this up? Like, will this last? If or when will the quality degrade? Because things have been happening around the world of Warcraft that threaten to sour the mood. There's the regular discourse of balance between specs, of course. There's the churn of WoW developers coming and going. There's the exceptional loss of talent thanks to the return to office mandate that's, from Blizzard leadership. There's the Activision and Microsoft merger that so far has been blocked pending appeals, and Blizzard as a whole, well, they lost most of the user growth that they had this year since Blizzard and China's breakup. It's a lot to think about, maybe too much to think about. Maybe that's like a tomorrow problem. But today, at least today, I'm gonna claim that this has been my most enjoyable first tier of an expansion probably ever. But now I'd like to hear from you, your perspective, your experience, your story, of course. How did Season 1 of Dragonflight treat you? And that's the show. So I guess all my goals have been met. I got my KSM, I got my AOTC, I got all of my profession alts leveled up so they can participate in like some 10.1 gold making stuff. My bags are good enough to last a few days, I hope. But now we wait. Next week is bound to be fire. I'm gonna be streaming just before it drops begin, so I really do, and I hope that you join me, because the plan is to be on all freaking day for drops, and I'll have some transmog giveaways too. Also expect some mini guides to help you along, hopefully some add-ons to feature and stuff to react to most likely. For now though, let's give thanks to our awesome Twitch subscribers and our patrons for keeping the coffee flowing, and to you viewer, I am always grateful when you make it to the end, so a special thanks. Don't forget to like this video, video, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.